Who is Jessica Radcliffe? The name has been everywhere online, sparking shock, sadness, and a wave of disbelief. Social media timelines have been flooded with her story. A 23-year-old Marine trainer, bright and full of life, killed during a live performance by an orca, the ocean's most powerful predator. The video, now viral, shows her final moments in heartbreaking detail. She stands proudly on the glistening black and white back of the killer whale, smiling, balanced with the poise of someone who spent years working with these magnificent creatures. The crowd claps and cheers as the orca surges from the water, a breathtaking moment of harmony between human and animal. But within seconds, the scene changes. The orca dives, then twists back with sudden force, grabbing Jessica and yanking her beneath the surface. The water churns. Shouts of panic ripple through the stands. The performance is over, and in the captions that accompany the video online, one chilling claim is repeated. Jessica Radcliffe died minutes after staff pulled her from the tank. It's the kind of story that stops you in your tracks. A young woman doing what she loved, taken in an instant, and it's all caught on camera. On TikTok, in countries where it isn't banned, the video spread rapidly. On Facebook, it's been shared and reshared, each post accompanied by crying emojis, heartfelt comments, and stunned disbelief. People who had never heard her name before are suddenly writing tributes, calling her a hero, a victim, a symbol of the risks Marine trainers take every day. But here's the twist. Jessica Radcliffe never existed, and the attack you saw never happened. A closer look at the viral video reveals cracks in the story. The first red flag? There's no record of any place called Pacific Blue Marine Park anywhere in the world. No website, no address, no history. If such an incident had occurred in a marine facility, especially one involving a fatal attack by a large marine mammal, the news would have been everywhere. Official reports from local authorities, workplace safety investigations, and immediate statements from the park itself would have followed. None of that exists. The second red flag? Jessica Radcliffe herself. Search her name and you'll find nothing. No social media profiles, no work history, no trace of her existence. It's as if she appeared out of nowhere, and that's because she did. Experts who've analyzed the video point out clear signs of AI generation. The crowd noise sounds off. The cheers and screams are strangely flat, lacking the natural rise and fall of human voices. The movements in the water seem unnatural, almost too smooth in some parts and jerky in others. Even the way the orca's body interacts with the water feels wrong. And the audio? The voices are likely AI generated, with odd pauses and a lack of genuine emotion. These are the kinds of small details most viewers wouldn't notice, but to someone trained to spot digital manipulation, they're glaring. This wasn't just a fake video. It was a manufactured tragedy. A piece of AI-created content designed to shock, to stir emotions, and to keep people watching long enough to share it. In the age of social media algorithms, engagement is gold. And nothing engages people like fear, outrage, and heartbreak. But while Jessica Radcliffe may not be real, the idea of an orca killing a trainer is not far-fetched. Because it has happened before. And those real-life tragedies are what make hoaxes like this so believable. In 1991, a young trainer named Kelty Burns slipped into the water at Sealand of the Pacific in British Columbia. The massive male orca Tilikum, along with two females, grabbed her and prevented her from resurfacing. Witnesses recalled the horror as the orcas repeatedly dragged her under. Rescuers couldn't reach her in time, and Kelty drowned. The tragedy left staff and visitors shaken, and for those who saw it, the images were burned into memory forever. 8 years later, in 1999, Tilikum was involved in another death. This time, a man named Daniel Dukes was found dead in his tank. The exact circumstances remain unclear, but investigators believe he may have entered the enclosure after hours, unaware of the danger he was walking into. By morning, his body was discovered draped across the orca's back. It was another dark mark on Tilikum's record, yet the massive orca remained in captivity, performing for audiences from behind the safety of the tank walls. Then came 2010, the year that would change the conversation about keeping killer whales in captivity forever. Dawn Brancho, one of SeaWorld's most experienced and respected trainers, was working with Tilikum in Orlando during a midday show. The performance seemed routine until, without warning, Tillicum grabbed her. Witnesses described scenes of panic as the enormous orca pulled her under and thrashed with terrifying strength. For 45 minutes, the struggle continued, while stunned visitors looked on in disbelief. Dawn's injuries were catastrophic, and by the time rescuers recovered her body, it was too late. The attack shocked the world, prompting investigations, lawsuits, and a wave of public anger. For many, it was the moment they began questioning whether these powerful animals should ever be kept in tanks for entertainment. And Tillicum isn't the only one. In 2009, in the Canary Islands, a trainer named Alexis Martinez was killed by an orca named Quito during a rehearsal. Quito struck him with enough force to cause fatal injuries, leaving his colleagues horrified and grieving. Each of these incidents is a tragic reminder that orcas, for all their intelligence and beauty, are apex predators. In the wild, they travel up to 100 miles a day, hunt in coordinated pods, and display complex social behaviors. In captivity, they're confined to spaces that are a fraction of what they would have in the open ocean. Over time, the frustration and stress of that confinement can manifest in unpredictable aggression. This is why the fake Jessica Radcliffe story hits so hard. It's built on the foundation of real events, tragedies that have happened to real people, and woven into a convincing illusion by modern AI tools. It's designed to bypass our skepticism because we've seen headlines like this before. And that's what makes it dangerous. We live in a time where seeing is no longer believing. Videos can be faked, voices can be synthesized, entire people can be invented out of nothing. And yet, the emotional impact they have on us is just as real as if the events had happened. Imagine for a moment someone stumbling on this video late at night, watching it with no background knowledge of marine parks or AI. Their heart sinks. They share it, thinking they're honoring a young woman's memory, never realizing that they're spreading something entirely fabricated. Multiply that by thousands, then millions of viewers, and you begin to understand the power of a single well-crafted fake. It's not just a harmless internet rumor. It's a distortion of reality that travels at lightning speed. The lesson here isn't just about questioning the authenticity of one video. It's about understanding how easy it is to be manipulated online. The Jessica Radcliffe hoax reminds us that misinformation doesn't need to be clumsy or obvious. It can be polished, convincing, and perfectly timed to trigger our emotions. And when that happens, we have to stop, take a breath, and ask, is this real? Who is reporting it? Where is the evidence? Because as heartbreaking as the video may be, mourning someone who never existed distracts us from the real people and real issues that deserve our attention. Jessica Radcliffe never lived, but Kelty Byrne did. Daniel Dukes did. Dawn Brancho did. Alexis Martinez did. Their stories are the real tragedies, the ones that should be remembered and learned from. And while killer whales will always inspire awe with their beauty and power, they will also always deserve our respect and our caution. In the end, the truth matters. And in a world where it's becoming easier to fake, holding on to it might be the most important thing we can do.